Yeah, good morning, everyone. This is me, your brother, your friend, Umani Stephen on the show. One day is another brand new. I think today is the fifth day of January. We are 5 days away. Please, if today is your first time of being on the show, just kindly click on the share button and let's get the game starting. If you're watching me from Nigeria Oke YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. If you're watching me from Matter Rising with Umani Stephen, please just press the followers button and be part of the show. So anytime I'm on live, you can easily get your notification and be part of the show. So what we do here is to see as much as possible how we can be able to give a very clear, vivid explanation to our people on what we need to do in a country that we find ourselves today. Today is going to be a little bit discursive in nature, and we're going to talk about everything and talk about the insecurity in Edo State. And there is a letter that was written by Imuse, the critical state chairman of the All Progressive Congress APC. I'm going to read the letter in this show. There's also another article that was written for Nnamdi Kanu by one OK. I'm going to read that article on this show and many other news headlines which I'm going to bring before you guys today. So it will be a very, very strong and package event today on the show. So I really advise you guys to just stay glued to your devices and let's see how far we can be able to go to make this very particular edition a very clear reality. Okay, guys. Please, if you're following me for the first time, subscribe to Matter Risings with Umani Stephen, or kindly go to United States and Nigeria and also subscribe there. So that's where you get the Oboga news on daily basis. And please share this video, give us some likes. Let us at the life now. Yeah, sorry guys. Let's just kick on with the show. So the first news I'm going to put before you today is from the Edo State APC on the insecurity in Edo State. Okay, guys, these are just coming. Just give us some likes, please. Give us some like that. Give us some little uh, 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 motivation, for us to continue doing this job we do. It's not easy to come out every morning, get prepared for you guys, and to give you the best of what we can be able to offer. Okay. Edolites are already fed up with PDP and OBASEKI's excuses. This is from Imuse, and I'm going to just read through what he said on the article. And if I have anything to say on it, then I will just put it across to you guys. Okay. The chairman critical committee of the All Progressive Congress APC in Edo State, Colonel David Imuse, retired, has described recent claim by Dr. Tony Aziebemi, the state chairman of the PDP, that Governor Obaseki is suffering from insomnia all over how to secure the life and property of Edo State as a huge Edo people as a huge slap on the sensibility of Edo people. The APC chairman said it is wrong for the PDP chairman to expect the governor Obaseki to be sleeping while Edo people are daily having sleepless nights because of the criminal siege on the state. He said the PDP should tell the governor that the youth security vote of over 700 million he collects monthly from Edo State coffer is solely for funding security agency in the state, and that is tenacious hold on the money by refusing to deploy it to fund security agency is what is fueling insecurity in the state. This part it has become a recurrent decimal in the mind of the APC in Edo State. I want to beg here right now. I'm going to be very neutral to try to be very neutral this morning. I want to beg the APC in Edo State that if it is possible, let them actually prove this 700 million naira security vote issue that is arising over and over again, because it is becoming really, really troublesome that in every of their articles, in every of their publications, in every of their news, there's this 700 naira, recurring decimal coming up every day. I want to say, guys, if you guys are really sure of this 700 million naira issue, why can't you guys just bring it up right now? Let us get it cleared out. Let us sort this whole issue out. Because if the government gets 700 million, are you guys really sure that it's not spending the money? If it does, will it come to the public domain and make references to it? That's just the issue right now. There are things you guys need to start thinking about. The security of the state should not be put into political, to play politics. We are losing lives by the day. Okay, guys, we are losing life by the day. People are dying, in Edo State. In the last few months now, practically every day, a soul is gone. Not die of COVID-19, not die of heart attack, not die of any disease, but they are being shot dead on the street when we are not at war. I expect the entire the state to put us together and stop the menace of the insecurity that is ravaging the state. Not like some guys are not trying to play politics with the lives and property of the state. This is what happened in 2015. Guys, don't forget this. Between 2011 and 2015, when the insecurity in the nation started with this Boko Haram, this is what actually transpired. Okay, This was actually transpired. This was what actually transpired in that period of time. The APC then was the opposition party, played politics with Boko Haram. And today Boko Haram have become a menace. It has gone out of control as I speak to you right now. There are things that politics should be played with. If you guys are very, very sure that OBASEKI 700 million naira monthly security vote is not being used for the appropriate reasons in which it was collected for, I want somebody to do the needful and set a probe on emotion. Because the more you say this, the more you fuel insecurity in the state. The more you say this, the more you make many of these young guys want to go hell out, causing mayhem on the state. As the police actually comes out to say they are not getting the vote that they are supposed to get from the state government. I remember vividly that Nasir El-Rufai said that the only thing the federal government does for the security, for the police, is paying their salaries. That every other thing that is being done is from the state government. I remember after this whole episode of NSAS protest, all the stations that we have destroyed and burned down in Edo State is being rebuilt by the Edo State government. I'm very sure the money that is being used to rebuild those police stations were actually from this part of the security vote you guys are talking about. So you want to know if this is actually the truth. Let us come out clearly and put these things at the front burner. We can't just continue keeping quiet and allowing this to become a recurrent decimal. If you remember during the campaign, that was the song. In the interview they did on 2 occasions, one with BBC Pidgin English and the other one with the Channel Television, their candidate then, Pastor Sagezi Yamo, repeatedly mentioned the security vote issue. If they feel that the man is not using the money the way it ought to be used, then let them just come out and make a clear, very clear statement, not this form of assumption that we are actually seeing or experiencing today, guys. Okay, the PDP chairman claimed that the governor has put in place a security plan that is at the implementation stage to guarantee a peaceful Christmas and New Year celebration is flawed, because Edo people want an all-year-round security rather than such unrealistic ad hoc plans. He said it was a familiar ad hoc plan by the same governor that gave birth to the so-called but now moribunded new security agriculture, which in December 2028 got over 2 billion of Edo taxpayer money and another 200 million from corporate citizens. These guys that are talking today, like I said, I'm not supporting, because this insecurity in Edo State it has actually gotten to the peak of my life, you know. But we must say something very clearly here. This security situation is not only in Edo State; it is all over the federation. Yeah, you know, anything that comes to Edo is skyrocket. That's just what happens. And like I said in one of the interviews I did yesterday, that our people who are actually creating this mayhem today in the state were not born 4 years ago. I'm not trying to take the blame from the government of the day. Okay, you were not born 4 years ago. And from September 2016 till September 2020, or no, from November 2016 till November 2020, that's 4 years period. And the school session ends by June. The academic session calendar of universities in Nigeria ends by June. And if that is the case, it means there was already a pass out of some group of graduates before OBASEKI came into government. And many of these guys today who are actually committing these heinous crimes today are far back from reality. I am very sure that in OBASEKI's government, maybe the highest number of people that would have graduated out of school when OBASEKI became the governor is not up to 500,000 as of today in Edo State. Guys, get it now. I'm not supporting anybody now. I want us to get this thing because it's very clear that if we don't get the genesis of some problem, we're going to be able to get a better solution to them. So it means the menace we are seeing today have been on ground for a very long time. And because they've been on ground for quite a very, very long time, that has actually breeded the set of people we have today. They didn't come up overnight. They'll be there. They've been pampered by previous government. Like I heard during Oshomole's time, Oshomole had a way of giving them the street to control. They became street lords during Oshomole's time, beating up our parents, beating up our sisters, beating up our brothers. They were in charge of the entire state revenue collection. They became a lord to themselves, by themselves. They were above the law. People will say, yeah, there were no killing then, but many people were beaten to stupor. Many of our parents died from internal injuries. Many of our parents were rendered useless, helpless during their reign of terror. Yeah, but this fracas that we see today, it was there, but was not as visible as it is now. And one of the reasons why that was this. During the Shomole time, Edo State wasn't divided. Edo State wasn't divided. Edo was one. So it was easy for every of this group to be in one camp, which was your Shomole camp. Shomole finally completely silenced the opposition in the state at that time. He used his veto power that is enacted in the Constitution to do the wonders. That's why I'm calling OBASEKI. Keeping quiet, gentlemanity is not part of the Nigerian politics. No matter how, you go look at what happened to Goodluck Jonathan. It's as a result of his level of gentlemanity. It backfired against him. It's not part of it. So what you need to do is to step up your game a little bit. Right now, today, Edo is divided into two parts. The Shomole camp and the OBASEKI camp. And that division has made it completely next to impossible. People should lie to you on social media. But I'm going to tell you the reality on ground. There is a level OBASEKI can go. It will be called political witch hunting, even when they are guilty. This is not to hold sway for the government. I'm not part of the government. I will never be part of it. But if OBASEKI go a little bit further in trying to bring a rapid and a very Dracula laws into place, many of these people who are on social media today castigating the government, we end up calling it a witch hunting on the governor, on the opposition party. Because we all know what is happening in the state. I'm not saying the opposition are involved, but I'm saying if it comes to the point that laws are not being made, people are going to call it a witch hunting law. So, guys, let's not play politics with the lives of the citizens of the state, because 4 years is not forever. Whatever level of insecurity you create today, don't mind, will not live in the next 4 years if not properly managed. Boko Haram is an example of what I'm talking about. The opposition took Boko Haram as one of the best way in which they can get to the government of Goodluck Jonathan. They used it with the help of some other PDP stewards. It actually worked for them. They unseated the then president through an election. They came to power, but they saw it clearly that the monster they were feeding with milk and flesh had grown beyond eating flesh, that the monster needed bones. And now they are not running scatter, finding a possible solution to the problem. So I'm calling the opposition. Security is not what is used in playing politics. Okay? The PDP should have known, like the governor, that the potential of Edo State economically are huge, but their handling of the current security situation in the state has made the realization of this potential unrealistic and unattainable. Sometimes when these guys talks, I sometimes want to ask questions. They said, I am attacking people. OBASEKI just 4 years in government. Oshomole ruled the government for 8 years, guys. What was Oshomole economical potentials that was brought into being in Edo State? Can anybody name one industry that came into Edo State as a result of Oshomole 8 years reign as the governor of Edo State? If they believe that Edo State has a very huge economic potential, that the potential is not coming into play as a result of the way the government of OBASEKI is handling the insecurity. How many companies that Oshomole created in the 8 years he had sway to the government house that have closed down in the last 4 years? We must be careful, guys. Or is it what happened at the police command headquarters? It's not the fault of the governor. Are we not sure that this whole menace is being released on the governor for a reason? Best known to them. The APC therefore charged the governor to be more proactive by involving critical stakeholders in our communities and providing adequate funding of security service to make Edolites sleep with their 2 eyes closed. Once again, this I concur to. The proactiveness of the governor, I 100% concur to on this. And I want to also appeal to the government. One of the first thing a government can do for its people is to save their lives. When there is no people, there is no government, because the government rules over people, not over empty state or nation. When the state is under siege, therefore the government have no one to govern. So anything you can do to step up the game, do not be afraid of who is going to be hurt at this point in time. No, sir. Do not be afraid on whose toe you are going to step on. Every citizen of Edo State, we are equal before the law. There is no big man, there is no small man. You might have billions of naira. That is your own. But as far as I'm a blooded Edo man, we have the same right before the face of the law. That's why the law is blended. The law does not see these inequalities that we display as a people. So be proactive. Take some drastic measures to bring normalcy to the state. Do some things sometimes. They can call you all sort of names. It doesn't matter. But try to safeguard those people that needed to be safeguarded. Try to take away those you feel are not ready to actually work according to the dictates of the law of the land. The economist said the APC believed that the police in Edo State needs adequate materials and institutional support, and that the state government has the means and can afford it. Also, the Security Trust Fund of the state must now be utilized as a special purpose vehicle to mobilize funding for the security agency on sustainable basis rather than the present ad hoc basis. I want to say something here to Colonel Imuse. You are a retired military officer, a colonel at that matter. And you know, sir, with all due respect, that the present-day structure of the Nigerian security architecture is not working. It is very clear to you that the present-day structure isn't working at all, because power is residing in the hands of one man to control 206 million plus people. The IGP today is the only guy that can take a decision that the commissioner of police will obey. It is only the governor, the president also, that can take a decision that the IGP will obey. A governor of a state can only write to an IGP, and the IGP will not listen to the governor. So if you know this, because you know this, the structure that is on ground, and if you say the government should be funding the police, why are you guys not actually clamoring for a state police? Yesterday, I was on a show with one of your supporters. He said Edo State does not have money to employ police. But you are saying here that the government had the means and the way-how to finance the Nigerian police force. Why should the government be financing the police force that is not answerable to the government? Why would they put all their resources on them when actually they do not take order from the state government, even when the constitution called in the chief executive officer of a state, but is not in charge of any of the commands? I think what most of us should be doing today is to try as much as possible to begin to tell the federal government to relinquish some of its powers on the exclusive list, so that the concurrent list, which is the list for the state government, to be able to get some of this power, which one of them is the state policing. You guys should be clamoring for that right now, not what we are hearing from many of you as of today. Okay, as for the community policing program involving neighborhood watch and vigilante group, which have been established and are successfully operating in other parts of the country, all Edo State needs is to replicate same for our rural and urban area. I think this is already working. The community policing is already working in Edo State. They've done that. Maybe you just need to increase it a little bit more. Maybe some of these guys, they are sleeping. I don't know if you have heard of the 800 cadet that was sent out of the training ground at Ogida Barracks, who are now operating with the Nigerian police. I don't know if you have heard of what is happening in Ikbobaka today, and I don't know if you are aware of that the vigilante and in collaboration with the Joint Task Force are doing a great job around us, Upper Sapoba area and all those areas. So if you are not aware of that, please, I want you to be a little bit open to see what's actually happening in Edo State. The APC chairman said the PDP chairman should tell the governor too that Edo traditional ruler, village heads, school authority, and religious organizations are critical stakeholders must be part of the big picture to find a pragmatic and lasting solution to the killing, kidnapping, and other violent crime that is ravaging our state. I think also that our traditional rulers, particularly our traditional rulers and the religious leaders, should be called also, because most of these people, they are actually within their churches. Okay, but nevertheless, apart from that, I also think that the families should also be involved in this right now. Like I said yesterday, a law should be promulgated. A law should be promulgated. It's going to work. Declare amnesty for these people and promulgate a law. If you don't follow these rules, this is what is going to happen. This will work. This will work. So let us play policies with issues of security. APC did it. They are paying the price today. You might need it to destroy the government of OBASEKI. Who knows who's going to be the next governor? It might be from your camp. It might even be you, Imuse. They're going to come into government. They're going to meet an already devastated, destroyed system. And you come up and start blaming the past, not knowing that the words of your mouth, all because you want to discredit a government, has actually fueled the rate of insecurity in the state. Many of you are forgetting what happened in Nigeria between 2011 and 2015. It is good you always let us put history back. That will help us in order to manage and understand what is happening in our society. Okay, then the next one I have now is Nnamdi Kanu is committed to a better Nigeria from Oke Chiuku. Oke Chiuku said that. So I'm going to read that clearly to you without not adding my words to it. Then if I need to analyze, I will do that, but you're going to get the words of this guy, verbatim. Okay, guys? This is the revelation I give you in 2021. Try to understand Nnamdi Kanu new game. After being fully bought by Femi Fani-Kayode, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu started changing the music on his talk show. And Uche Menfor following along, not knowing what was happening. Eventually, Nnamdi Kanu set up his IPOB community radio while trying to shut down Radio Biafra. Guys, just hold on. I think my device is about to go off. Just 1 minute, guys. Okay. We're trying to shut down Radio Biafra. However, it failed because Uche Menfor, who was not carried along the plan, resisted. Uche Menfor resisted not to save Biafra per se, but to save his business and his imaginary position and rank or authority in IPOB. Because if felt voted out, Uche Menfor hadn't understood the game or grand plan, which was that Nnamdi Kanu wanted to gradually remove Biafra. Menfor, who was a thorn in the flesh, eventually became a troubling obstacle and a threat to the plan, as he, Menfor, struggled for his position. So Nnamdi Kanu, using his so-called command and control structure, which is alien to the Igbo culture, turned his IPOB zombies against Menfor, which Menfor had known for a long time that things were not well with Nnamdi Kanu behavior within the IPOB. And he continued to support him until, of course, he himself felt that his position was threatened and that he was a victim. Why IPOB Community Radio and Eastern Security Network? Another question. When they say IPOB and Eastern, this and that, you won't be hearing Biafra for the most part. But instead, you will be hearing more of IPOB and Eastern, this and that. So Biafra independence doesn't come directly to mind. Nnamdi Kanu has systematically withdrew Biafra for the sake of Nigerian politics, which is why he called his new show Eastern Security Network. At best, he will pursue Odumegu Ojukwu Biafra of the mind. And many, if not most, of his followers will buy it. After all, the concept was from Ojukwu. Yet, Nnamdi Kanu has been introducing Femi Fani-Kayode desired change slowly. It is a managed demolition. The October 22, 2020 live discussion with Femi Fani-Kayode, Chiuku said, if you listen to Nnamdi Kanu when he spoke in an online interview or discussion held on the 22nd of October 2020 and organized by Femi Fani-Kayode, you should see that the Afara man is now singing the song of Femi Fani-Kayode. He indirectly sang his master's song of One Nigeria. That is a clear message passed on in the discussion, but we know that he said different things to different audiences at different times because it is all about him obtaining fame, money, and corrupt power. He told his host and others in the video chat that he is fighting for a better Nigeria society. He also put on his fake accent, started blowing grammar unnecessarily. What's up with his voice? He has an irritating accent that he put on when he wants to sound civilized, but it often depends on the audience. Often he wants to sound like Odumegu Ojukwu in the late 1960s. In the above-mentioned live discussion, also see the attached video, it appears he forgot for a little while that it was not his radio talk show. And so he got carried away, which is why he also used the irritating, ghostly tone that he uses on his show when he talks to his subjects. And that's why he ended his speech with, "Thank you very much," as he does on his radio talk show when he ends call. In his broadcast, he sounds like Adolf Hitler when he speaks forcefully or rant with a wide, ghostly, shidoveric voice. He has one when he makes prayers and another when he shoots off like Adolf Hitler. When he gets fully into the realm, or rather trance, and as he gathers momentum in his speeches, he also makes some clicky sound. Elsewhere, when talking to Europeans in the Ocha, he speaks slowly. Observe his use of terms like tribe. Mr. Nnamdi Kanu said that he is against the policies of tribe. He's fighting for an equitable and just Nigerian society for every Nigerian tribe. Although he didn't mention the said tribe, it is clear he referred to the Igbos as a tribe and not a nation because, according to popular Nigerian literature, the Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba are formally regarded as the three major tribes of Nigeria. It should be clear that he is now speaking the language of the non-Nigerianists, at least to the people he had discussion with. A psychopath liar with zero integrity. Isn't it funny or interesting that the chief propagandist, supreme liar, a master of divide and rule tactics, a divider of even his own people, and a divider even within his IPOB organization, which he fully hopped into a court after he chased out key pioneers of Radio Biafra and later key officers of IPOB, is calling other liars and saying that the damning evidence against him, his own audio recording, is merely propaganda by those who want to deploy divide and rule tactics. This is a man of zero integrity who can't take full responsibility for his own words. It seems he has serious mental issues, and one which appears to be a narcissist, grandiose meta case. But of course, only the meta health expert can easily determine the true character of his meta case. He claimed that he only intervened in the EndSARS protest as a concerned Nigerian citizen, supporting the angered Nigerian youth or his fellow Nigerian citizens elsewhere in Nigeria. Whereas it is on record that this is this person who on numerous occasions said that he hated Nigeria and Nigerians with passion, and that he desired to destroy everything living in Nigeria. We know, however, that as the man glory seeker that he is, he was trying to take credit for the EndSARS uprising, and he was hoping to hijack EndSARS when he sent his IPOB hooligans to infiltrate the protest, to cause anarchy and destruction of property. The joke is that Nnamdi Kanu was counting every month on the EndSARS uprising to continue, for things to escalate and turn into an ugly, violent Nigerian revolution, so that with these hooligans, he will appear as or claim to be the organizer of or genuine leader behind the revolution, and that the commands the respect of the Nigerian youth to his disappointment. However, the Nigerian abandoned EndSARS when things got ugly. He was too quick to describe the EndSARS uprising as a monumental revolution, as aired in his October 2020 last discussion with Fanny Friday. Nnamdi Kanu suffered from grandiose delusion, such that he had led himself to believe that the Nigerian youth of the EndSARS uprising, other than his IPOB member who were listening to him, that is following him. There is a mountain of evidence that he had been calling for violence, but in the discussion, he claimed that he's engaged violence of any sort. This is not the first time he has done this. As pointed out earlier, these Afara lunatics says different things to different people in different places at different times. The corruption argument. The corruption argument is the usual argument used by one Nigerianist who maintained that the problem of Nigeria above everything else is institutionalized corruption. To make his point that is for a better and united Nigeria for every tribe, Nnamdi Kanu, in his live discussion with Femi Kayode, also said that his fight is the fight against corruption in Nigeria. It is interesting to note that Nnamdi Kanu is himself a corrupt Nigerian politician who runs IPOB and abuses his position. Just the way things are done in Nigeria, he runs IPOB like a family business and behaves like a Nigerian dictator. Even up to today, the IPOB leader has not given proper account for the money he has been collecting from his followers. He claimed he has 100 million to place as a bounty for Governor Wike's head, but it does nothing really for the injured or detained IPOB youth or the families that have lost their lives and property due to this agitation. Notice also that in his speech, he correctly referred to the president of Nigeria as Buhari and not Jubrin, meaning that he has dropped the Jubri, later Junaidu Aminu El Sudan imposter from Sudan Mint, which goes to show that he's a psychopathic liar who turned the name of Biafra into a joke. He dropped his childish gimmick for the sake of the new Nigeria agenda. So this is what came from Oke Chiuku. This is what I've been saying. The disunity that is operating within the Nigerians, within the southern state is becoming very, very alarming by the day. Like I said, there's a lot of allegations there that also be released upon the person of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and I believe that if any IPOB member is in the house here, please, you can be able to give us some clear details on what actually is happening within the IPOB camp, because there's a lot of revelation that came up there that the IPOB camp is in disarray. How true is this information? Okay, the next news I'm going to have is kidnapped Katsina woman delivered baby girl in the bandit den. A pregnant woman, Suwaiba Naziru, who was among the 10 persons adopted by bandits in Biyaki Wana village, Baksari local government area of Katsina State, last week has given birth in the kidnapped den. You see, kidnapping is happening right now. They just close up. Nobody talk about it anymore because they don't want to embarrass their God. Okay? According to Daily Trust, the bandit called the family of Suwaiba to inform them that she had given birth and added that she and the baby would not be released until a ransom was paid. So you bump it, you have to pay ransom, join the woman. So gather that the government demanded a good motorbike with a full tank of fuel to go fetch the nursing mother at Sambo Gari Domborawa. The demand was suspicious as the person who was to go was afraid that the bandit could hold him in place of the woman or hold the motorbike as ransom, and so declined. This was quoted a source as saying, when the government called again to find out if anyone was on the way to pick up the woman, they were told that the motorbike was not yet ready. So they decided to move the nursing mother to Danjiwa village, from where she was conveyed to her hometown by another motorbike. Also speaking, Sabuwa narrated what happened on that fateful night and how she gave birth to a baby girl in the forest as the kidnapper watched. She said on that fateful day she had gone out to make a phone call on her husband so she could inform him to try and send some money home so they could buy some food stuff. On her way, she met the handmen with some women they had already kidnapped. Kidnapping people, just going on the way, kidnapping people, picking people on the way. She stated, they asked me to go along with them, but I told them I was heavily pregnant. They said I was lying, so they forced me to join the other women, and we were headed like a flock of sheep into the bush. Where are the security agents at this point? As I said, I told them, but they said it was a lie, and it was until I went into labor that they realized it was true. So Suwaiba said the journey was a hard one, as not only was she heavy, she had to carry a toddler at a trek a long distance. According to her, when she went into labor, one of the abducted women served as a midwife. The abducted provided a razor blade to cut the umbilical cord and also hot water for the mother and baby to bathe. She added, after that, they said they wanted to inform their leader and seek his permission to discharge me. They went away and did not return for some time, but eventually the leader said that I should be taken home. They took me on a motorbike together with my two babies to Yanzegwa village, and from there, another motorbike brought me home. Suwaiba disclosed that they had huts where they stayed, but they were without mat, so they slept on the ground. She said the mother were still with the women were still with their doctors, who asked her to tell the villagers that even if it means they have to beg to get some money to rescue them, they should not hesitate to do so to rescue their release. Now, guys, if this is not a conspiracy from even the government, people have been kidnapped, they've been released. These people that have been kidnapped, that have been released, they actually come out to give vivid dictates of what is happening to them. That shows the path to where these kidnappers are actually living in is known to the people. Please, guys, share this video. Give us some like, guys. It's known to the people. So why are the people not now actually going out? Probably the securities not going out to get rid of these kidnappers in the den where they are living. This is one big problem in the nation today. The same thing in Edo State. The same thing in other parts of the nation where these kidnappers are living in. People were kidnapped. They were released. They will give a vivid description of the place. Yet, the security agency do not deem it fit to go after these people and get them arrested or dislodge them from the forests where they are finally taken as their abode. Okay, guys. The next news is a very another news we have here today is Atiku sells off his shares in Intel, accusing President Buhari of destroying his business. Nigeria former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has sold off his shares in Integrated Logistics Service Limited, Intels. Atiku, however, accused the President Muhammadu Buhari-led government of going after the business. Paul Ibe, spokesman for the former vice president, disclosed this in a statement on Monday. The co-founder of Integrated Logistics Service Nigeria Limited, Atiku Abubakar, had been selling his shares in Intel over the years, the statement read. It assumed greater urgency in the last 5 years because this government has been preoccupied with destroying the legitimate business that was employing thousands of Nigerians because of politics. He has sold his shares in Intel and redirected his investment to other sectors of the economy for return and creation of jobs. The Nigerian government had, in October 2017, directed the Nigerian Port Authority to terminate the boat pilotage, monitoring, and supervision agreement that the agency had with Intel, saying that the contract was void ab initio. The NAP had also accused Intel of refusing to remit to the Nigerian government service boat pilotage revenue in the firm custody, which amounted to $207.65 million US. That is equivalent of 78.9 billion as of September 30th, 2019. I want to say this, Atiku, hear me, and maybe you will hear me. If the truth is this, that you actually collected money, you collect money and did not pay the government, please, Oga, pack well. If you collect money, you did not pay the government, I will encourage you to pack well, sir. Sorry, I'm coming, guys. I think I'm there. What is happening? If you collect money from government, you are not paying tax, bros, pack well. You guys are the problem of Nigeria. You guys are actually the problem of Nigeria. Okay? But if that is not the case, the government just will shorten for political reasons. Guys, bear the cost. Okay, guys. Please, guys, share this video, guys. Share this video. Give us some likes. Give us some thumbs up. If you're watching us from Nigeria Watch YouTube, guys. Then the next one I'm going to have now is Boko Haram. Outside Maiduguri, nobody is safe in Borno. Professor Dikwa. Professor Khalifa Dikwa, then Borno Elder Forum, is worried about the rising security in the area, admitting that outside the capital of the state, Maiduguri, people living in Borno state are not safe. Even if they, Boko Haram, are not physically there, they are psychologically there, disturbing the people. Dikwa, who is a socio-political analyst, told Channels Television News Night on Monday, from time to time, they ride their motor bicycle, come and harass them to pay levies on, and so on. Get that now. They ride their motorbikes, come and harass the people to pay levies. Where are the security agents? Where are the security agents? They're in the east, fighting the people that is not even at war, leaving the war zone to go to the south. The north is already in a state of confusion, but yet they are deploying people, deploying a helicopter to go and look for armless Eastern Security Network people inside the bush. Outside Maiduguri, not even 5 kilometers, nobody is safe, and they can strike at any time. He claimed that the military did not heed to the advice of the private military contractor to man the country land border after they had disseminated Boko Haram in 2014. They will not listen because they don't want to turn. They turn deaf ears. You see that? He also said that Boko Haram were disseminated in 2014. This is what the people had never said. Because what is the name of this man? Jonathan did it. But they never accepted that there was any time that the Jonathan administration actually did anything against the Boko Haram. This is a Borno man now who is speaking the truth today. That this we actually disseminated in 2014. Let's go on. At that time, the private security, the private military contractor said, okay, we have done our bit. The rest, it has to be political. Have dialogue at the position of strength. The university done added. And that you should allow the only paramilitary, particularly the police, to take over the terrain that you have recaptured. You, military, move to the border. According to him, unfortunately, the military has continued to absorb the role of the police, which is not supposed to be so. Professor Dikwa, who called for more collaboration and more security agency in the fight against insurgency, noted that the military alone cannot fight the terrorism in Borno State. If you put all the military inside Borno, it will contain it, he said, claiming that it looks like there is no synergy between the security and defense agency, as if it is rivalry when they are actually working for this country and they signed to defend the people of the country and the territory. As a president, he should be able to stamp his feet to say, do the work. I am giving you 1-2 months maximum. If you don't finish up this thing, submit your letter of resignation. This is what we have been saying. The people will say, some people will say, we are against the government because we are PDPs. Or the other man will come out and call us whalers. The man will call us whalers. Either we say we are whalers, or they will say we are against the government of the day. So, because if you can't do the job, tender your resignation letter. We need peace in the nation. Nigeria is now completely insecure. Many of us living in Europe today, we don't care because we're actually living in the same society. What we need to know that people actually pay the price They paid the price of having a society that is sane today. You and I can also do the same and create a society that is workable. Only if we can be truthful to ourselves and accept the reality that is on ground. That is, government of Muhammadu Buhari had failed woefully in discharging his duty as a result of his nepotic character. Until we realize this, we're continually dancing around the blue. And a few guys like Femi, what's his name? Femi Adesina, who always comes out to support the government, even when he knew that the government had failed woefully, is one hell of a problem that the Nigerian state is having today. Because he want to protect his job and his means of livelihood, he's ready to sell every Nigeria in order for him to gain what he intended gaining. And that's not good for a nation like what we are having today. So I am encouraging everyone here today to please let us cry up. We need a nation. Nigeria is failing. It is failing. It is collapsing before our very eyes. Our leaders are our pastors. We need you guys to speak up. The nation is failing gradually. It is becoming something that we cannot even bear. Look at what is happening in Edo State. With the churches and the mosque and everything. Look at what is happening. Killing on the high rate. I'm not talking about crime now. I'm not talking about criminals now. I'm talking about youth just going down, gunning themselves down. Don't you know that these same youth who have these guns are also armed robbers? They don't just have that gun they just to keep in case of their court fight. They also uses that gun to commit crime on the street. Let the church start speaking. Many of these guys are members of your church. They might not be the functioning ones, but they are there because I know 99% of Nigerian youths, particularly the South, goes to church, even when they don't believe. Let's start speaking to these people the right sermon. Let's take prosperity away and preach holiness, righteousness, upright living. Let's give these people that they have, listen, let's begin to tell them what to be rich is not all that matters. Let's begin to make them to understand you can actually have a life without you not becoming a multi-millionaire. Let's begin to advise them how they can be able to use their God-given talents to actualize a purpose and a aim. Let's begin also to educate them on the need of how they can be able to become independent and also have the mind to run away from crime. We have all this in us because we can be able to tell people to do something that they do it. We're not beginning to make people to understand some of these ideas. Many are killing their wives, killing their girlfriends, killing their mothers for rituals. Many of them are even using their lives as a sacrifice, as a burnt offering, just to make money for some few years. We know this in our society. We don't talk about it. We don't say anything about it. It is destroying the fabric of the church. We can help the church by also coming up. I mean, we can help the society by also coming up as a church to speak against all this that is happening in our society. As far as the society is concerned, the church is the largest integral part of the certain society. And we respect the church leadership so well that they have influence over many of us. So with the influence that you have over them, it is your responsibility to now begin to inculcate into these people upright living and discipline, so that the norm of a sane society can be returned back into our society. As the government is doing theirs, to bring security back to the place, we as the leaders of thoughts should also help the government in trying to see how we can be able to reorientate our people, to reorient them on the good and the bad vices in the society. Let's make this our sermon for 2021. If God blesses me, I become a millionaire, and I don't have security, my life is at stake. I rather live an average life, and there is life and security, then I'm okay. This is what is happening in the Western world. You see people last longer. You see a normal Westerner have no money. Most of them are average people. Don't call the middle class. But don't get worried, because there is freedom. The society is so clean. It's so clean in terms of security-wise. So it makes them easy. They don't even want to get themselves worked up over nothing. This is what I expect our government to be doing today. Particularly our leaders, our church leaders, our bishops, our general overseers, our archbishop, pastors, apostles, whatever the name is. Let's begin to speak to our youth, because most of our churches, not most of our churches, 99% of our churches are actually youth dominated. We can play a very strategic part in their lives through the kind of sermons that we give to them. It's not all about wealth alone. When a society is clean, wealth will come automatically. When corruption is being getting rid of in the society, even the lowest of the low will feel happy being in the society, because everyone will have what it takes to live and be happy. But when everything we think of is how to amass wealth, and the wealth is not being put in the hands of few, whereas the majority are now in extreme poverty, what you see today in Nigeria is what you get. Because I remember in the early 80s, the church preaches only one message: holiness. I'm not saying prosperity message is wrong. No, I'm not saying that. But maybe we can change a little bit and begin to tell our people, let's lecture them. Church is a school. It's a school created to teach the people the integrities of the kingdom business. It's a school. Let's impart the right knowledge of the Bible on our people. Let me begin to see the need, telling them the right thing at the right time. That's going to help. Just like parents have so much part to play, the society has so much part to play, and the religious leaders have so much part to play. And for these native daughters, for these marabots, for these spiritualists who are also being patronized by this youth to seek spiritual powers, over if you shoot me, no go enter, Odechi, and all that you guys are doing. It's also our time. You guys should understand that you are creating more problem for the society by indulging in such illicit crime. It's a crime against humanity right now. Because such privileges you give to them, such assurance you give to them, makes them to feel they can do and undo without nothing happening to them. Because they already had the belief that if you shoot them, you're not going to go in. They go all out to commit crime. You are old men who are native doctors. Some of you who call yourself pastors, but still operate in the spiritual realms, and all that. You understand you understand yourselves. So, guys, it is high time. Those of you also who are also imam that still do this, demonic things, whereby you do some charms to give to people so that they can go out and rob and create menace and come back and give you your return. All because everyone wants to be wealthy at the detriment of others. If we can start seeing this, I promise you, a lot of things will fall down drastically in the nation. Like I said in one of my videos, people talk about churches in Nigeria. People talk about, listen guys, if you read the Bible very carefully, if you have already studied the Bible, don't study the Bible with a myopic mind. Study the Bible with a very broad mindset. You will understand that the Bible is one of the most liberal books that have ever existed. Every problem has a solution in the Bible. But because of the myopicness of most of our leaders, they decided to trick the Bible that you cannot be able to get the fact from it. They have now, blinded the eyes of the people to the point that there's a limit they want you to know, and that is what you know. So you now study the Bible based on the concept that have been put before you by the people that listen you. And so if you watch today's young men, young pastors, all they do is about money. Please, guys, it's not helping us. The society is dying. It's going deep down. It is dying so badly. So we can be able to redeem ourselves by coming up with the right way of doing things, which is going to the grassroots, to the foundation, and reviving our societies. The church needs to be part of the political structure of every nation if it must succeed. Go check the American country today. The church is an integral part of it. A very, very functional part of the American nation, the church. There are reasons for it. It helps to safeguard a lot of things. There will be one or two up and downs, but with the presence of the church at the middle, it helps, particularly when the church begins to preach the right word. Okay, that case is going to be for another day anyways. Let me go to the next one. Drama as Sowore rejects strange lawyers brought to represent him in court. Okay, Mr. Moyele Sowore of the Revolutionary Movement are denied knowing the lawyers who came in instead alongside prosecutor or police against him to arraign him before a Waso magistrate in Abuja. The ongoing proceeding turned dramatic as certain JCA Idashaba introduced himself as a lawyer prosecuting for the FCT police command, where for another introduced himself as GOA Gule to represent Mr. Sowore and others. Sowore probably told the judge that he doesn't recognize any lawyer differently from Mr. Fani Falana. He insisted that his lawyer was decided knowledge of his arraignment and the charge and cannot cooperate with strange lawyers representing him in court. FCT lawyer Dashaba has continued to insist that the lawyer available must represent the defendant and they can be later replaced later. They can later be replaced later. But Sowore has denied them cooperation. Sowore told the court that his phones were seized by police, and even though the police know his lawyer and chambered but failed to inform them of his arraignment, the judge has asked for 10 minutes to return to our chambers and rule on the matter. Okay, that's so funny that you are giving somebody a lawyer that is not even aware of who the person is. Okay, that is quite really funny, guys. I must say the truth. So you cannot give me a lawyer that I do not even know who the person is. But thank God for Sowore. Who Sowore is a very smart guy, and he would not want anybody to always take advantage of him. So the next one is also on Sowore case. We Sowore now and others are prepared for sale for more people. Ezekwesili said, the former Minister of Education, Obi Ezekwesili, has asked President Muhammadu Buhari to authorize the release of human rights activist Moide Sowore and 4 others who were remanded at the Koji Correctional Center on Monday, but all be prepared for more protests. The ex-minister said Buhari should create additional set to keep more protesters if he fails to ensure the release of the 5 activists immediately. Ezekwesili said this on Monday on an Iraq TV monitored by Star Reporter. Sowore and other activists were arrested on New Year Eve in Abuja for holding a peaceful protest against bad governance. They were subsequently arraigned on charge of criminal conspiracy, unlawful assembly, and attempting to incite others. The activists, however, denied the charges. Reacting, Ezekwesili said the activists have the right to protest in a democratic society. She said, "There's nowhere we have seen change happen without the resilience of a segment of the population to act regardless of the oppression that may be against it. That is why we must all applaud the resilience of Yele Sowore. Some people are not fair to him in dismissing his advocacy. I don't dismiss it at all. Every society needs a Yele Sowore and all other groups and movements that consistently advocate for good governance. I support Sowore 100% in all that he's doing today. Many people can say whatever they want to say. People can say he's trying to get attention. That is their cup of tea. But I believe that Sowore actions and inactions is for the betterment of a better Nigeria for tomorrow. He's doing everything humanly possible to see that Nigeria of tomorrow is better to go. So wherever people say that's not actually my business, but I believe the guy is actually becoming a thorn in the flesh of the Nigerian government, the way Amana is going. The president will think of establishing many more cells because if he continues to keep Yele Sowore, his New Year's speech will mean nothing to anybody. Not as if to say anybody bothered to believe what he has said, because what he have consistently seen over the past year is a president that say one thing and does a completely different thing. Sowore, who was earlier declared a prisoner of conscience by Amnesty International in 2019, was detained for several months by the Buhari government for calling of revolutionary protest. He was denied bail many times and even rearrested inside the Federal High Court. However, he regained freedom in December 2019 following domestic and international pressure. Okay, that is on the case of Sowore there, guys. So let's see if there's still more news to go before I do my own analysis. Say ICC, Amnesty International, part of Nigerian security challenge, federal government. The federal government has accused the International Criminal Court, ICC, and Amnesty International, AL, of becoming part of the country's security challenge by attacking the country's security forces and threatening them with persecution. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, made this accusation in his parley with newsmen in Lagos on Monday. He said a section of the media was parroting this organization who are trying to portray the fight against insurgency in a bad light. Lai Mohammed said, "Let me say straight away that Nigeria is fending off attack on many fronts, not just from terrorists and bandits, but also from some human rights organizations and the International Criminal Court, ICC, which seems to have colluded to exacerbate the challenges facing the country in the area of security. While our security agency continue to battle these bandits and terrorists, ICC and some international human rights organizations, especially Amnesty International, have constituted themselves to another fighting force against Nigeria. They are constantly harassing our security forces and threatening them with investigation and possible persecution over alleged crime against humanity and crime war. Unfortunately, a section of the local media has been parroting this organization without weighing the impact of their constant threat of security of the nation. Oga, we know you have a diarrhea in your mouth, so you talk when you want to talk. If the nation is actually doing the right thing, you don't even need to be afraid of ICC or International Amnesty International. You guys forgot what you did to Goodluck Jonathan when he was killing Boko Haram. Listen, that's why I said we need to be careful of what we do to others, because it's going to boomerang one day. The seat turn, the earth rotates. It's going to turn around and get back at you. And when it gets back at you, you start complaining. Just be careful. Sorry, guys. If you're on the other side, be very, very careful. You don't know what's going to happen. If you guys are doing the right thing, why are you scared of the ICC and the AI? If you feel that what you're doing is according to the law, why are you scared? What you are doing in the East is what the ICC is against. What you are doing in the West is what the ICC is against. The month that the killing of our brothers at Lekki Tollgate was what the ICC and the AI are against. The continuous harassment of the Eastern people is what the ICC and the AI is against. The continuous killing of Edo youths by policemen known as SARS is what the ICC is against. So you want the ICC to close their eyes and allow this tyrannic government to continue killing the people. Bros, make una wake up, I beg. Make una wake up. Let's try doing things the right way. Let's try creating an atmosphere whereby people will start seeing us as people that are doing the right thing. It's going to help us very, very well. Let's stop pretense. Let not think I'm in government today, then my life is secured. No. If the government can't kill you, God can. So that's why we have to be careful. The Nigerian politician thinks they are above everything. Because they're in government today, then it is finished. Because they're in government today, it is finished. They see, I always say this, you guys have children. Like moment you have children. Your children are still youth, young guys, maybe in their mid-40s. You so much amass wealth from the public offices for your children and your children's children. Many of us today don't have anyone to create or prepare wealth for us. We are only gathering what we can gather with our hands by the kind of job that we do. So I expect some of you, to start seeing things from that angle. We must start telling ourselves the truth. Sowore was doing a protest, a peaceful protest in Abuja. We just card, writing something on it, bad governance. You swung in on them with 12 loads of police to beat up just few persons who weren't carrying any form of weapons. You beat them up, lock them up. You are charging them for what? Incitement. What is the word incitement? If not that the judiciary is failing completely. Such a matter is not even supposed to be entertained in the competent court of law. Even that because the judiciary have been so compromised that they are now an extension of the executive. It's not even supposed to be. That thing is not supposed to be entertained at all. The moment it's coming in, they ought to have thrown that thing into the gutters. Well, because we have a failed state where things are not working the way they ought to be working. That is why you see the judges will still want to entertain a case that is not even a case. Having heard the prosecutor coming up with their case, that it was a case of protest, was there violence? No. The answer is, I hereby throw out this case from this court. But there is no independency of the judiciary. They're scared because even our judiciary are so corrupt that they are scared that their dirty linen will be spread outside if they don't do the biddings of the executive. This is the first time the legislature, the judiciary, have been pocketed by government. Even it did not even happen in the time of Olusegun Obasanjo. It didn't happen. As strong, as influential as Olusegun Obasanjo was, the National Assembly refused to succumb to the pressure of Olusegun Obasanjo. That's why I tell you that the problem is the Northern agenda scheme. Anytime a North is in power, then Northern, whether APC, PDP, APP, wherever they are, they speak in one voice in favor, even when it's not doing what they wanted. Because all they think of as a Northerner is to hold sway to government. That's just all. The National Assembly is quiet. It's dead. The judiciary is quiet. It's dead. The state has returned a de facto state to a de facto state, whereby one man says everything, both the National Assembly and the judiciary succumb to it. Even in Abacha time, it was not as worse as what we are experiencing today. Many of you who were already grown during the reign of Abacha will understand what I'm talking about. Even in Abacha days, it's not as worse as it is today. You will see protesters in the military junta in Nigeria. They pick up people at will. And the entire, the entire security apparatus is controlled by one section of the nation. The judiciary is controlled by one section of the nation. This is actually killing the trust. The one that we think that we are trying to put in place is dying gradually. Because the man who's at the aim of the affair of this country is not seeing what we are seeing. He's only concerned about a session that is workable for him. Yarima, the president of the Arewa youth, had done more worse things than what Yele is doing today. But he had never been called for questioning. He had never been arrested for once. In October 2018, he called for the Igbos to leave the north, for the South to leave the north. Otherwise, they will sweep in on them. That was an incitement. And he was on every social media defending his stand. He was never called for questioning, not to talk of him being arrested. You see why I'm always talking about the unity of the South. This is the reason why you see me, I am so much worrisome about the unity of the South. We don't know what we are going through. We don't know what we are doing to ourselves. The people I have gone through I've gone through the comment section on that very particular matter. The people is criticizing Umahi Sowore are mostly even from the South. 80% of the commenters are from the South. And most of those Southerners are the one even castigating Yele. First and foremost, it is Yele fundamental human rights as a Nigerian. So, as a matter of fact, protest. There is no government in the world that has shifted ground without the resilience of some section of the citizenry. It is nowhere in the news or in the history of the world that the government decided to give the people their right back without the people actually fighting for it. There had always been a battle between the oppressed and the oppressors. The oppressors have never for one day relinquished the right of the oppressed to them without the oppressed not demanding for it. This is a natural phenomenon. So it now depends on how the oppressed decided to pass on his own judgment. That's what matters right now. How he decided to pass on that very particular thing that he demanded, how you want to take it out. We cannot continue to keep quiet in the face of oppression and tyranny and think it will just go away. I see some of our social media presenters from the South supporting this government with everything that they have. So I began to wonder, what is the rationale? Is it just because we are going to get some money from them? Or is it because we actually want a change in our nation? Go check the history of Martin Luther King. That's where people rejected him from the beginning. Go check Nelson Mandela. You might say Omoyele wants, recognition. But I think he has already gotten one right from 1993. You might not like his complete approach to how he does it, how he do his things. But you cannot remove the fact that guy actually have the interest of the Nigerian state at heart. He's one guy, yes, like I said, he will have made the mistakes. Like for me, 2015, I was really, really not too happy with Omoyele Sowore when he supported Buhari against Jonathan. But he gave his reasons. Because then Jonathan was in power. There was a monumental corruption in Jonathan's administration, which was not directed against Jonathan as a person, but the people that were actually working with him were corrupt. So out of two devils, you don't choose one. One you already known as a corrupt man, the other one you've not even tried. At least in 1983. This actually did something that we will say, okay, yeah, he tried. So that perception made Yele to actually support this man against Jonathan. Not knowing to him that this man will be worse, even more worse than any government that have ever ruled Nigeria. At least we have liberty to speak during Jonathan time. We will not be tracked and arrested and thrown into dojo. But unfortunately, the man turned out to be a monster, which some of us saw, anyways, during the election, but many people never actually believed it. So notwithstanding that, we the South must always stand for our own. And I promise you, if Yole was from the North, If Yele was from the north, some of these things that is happening will not happen. How many times I said you should be arrested? They dare not, because she's from the north. She's an adult woman anyway, but she married in the north, so she's more like a northerner. So, if you are doing what you need to do, ICC or AI will not be a problem to you. But because you are not doing what is expected of you to do, that is why you are crying every day over people trying to stop you guys from continuously perpetrating your evil plot and brutal force against innocent Nigeria because you are in the corridor of power. Nancy, Malam Nancy El-Rufai, if you remember in 2007, 2008, you actually ran away from Nigeria into exile because you said the then president of blessed memory, Maru Musa Yar'Adua, was after you. If you remember, you said that because it was after because you spoke out against the way and manner he came to power. You made a lot of allegations while you were on exile. Lai Mohammed, you were also one of those that was actually castigating the government of Musa Yar'Adua while you were then the spokesperson for the Action Congress. With BC Akande as the chairman at the Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN. So if you guys have forgotten, some of us who are also very good at remembering how you did, we can be able to refresh your mind back again, that what you are crying for today, you actually did worse than this in your time. You called on the ICC against the then chief of army staff, who was from the Igbo extraction under Goodluck Jonathan time. You said the killings of the Boko Haram boys then was to depopulate the north, and it was a genocide, an ethnic cleansing, and a political motivated strategy by Jonathan to kill the north and in order to reduce the population of the north. You guys even went as far as going to London to release the same statement. But the then Shatima, the governor of Borno State, and some other leaders of the then APC against the person and the government of Jonathan. That eventually made Jonathan to relieve this very vibrant, articulate chief of army staff from office. He bowed to pressure, but he denied that anyways. But we all knew that he bowed to pressure based on the allegation that we have been circulated around. Then this IAI, Amnesty International, and the ICC, they're actually your partners in propagating this rumor during the election in 2014, 2015. Many Nigerians, again, particularly the South, because of our divided and greedy attitude, we succumbed to that pressure. We fell for the gimmick. We accepted the carrot. And we became a victim today. A few of us are still falling like the governor of Ebonyi State, Umahi. He was quick to jump out on a video that was circulating yesterday. It was a fake video. Was quick to have a meeting with the security agency in the state and the Metiala in the state. How many times? I don't support senseless killings, but how many times are the Metiala or the governor of the northern state take this quick action when the Southerners are being killed in the north? Does a Southerner go to the northern Nigeria and clear land and build a hut where they're going to stay without the permission of the community? They don't buy land. They go to your forest, bring down your trees, build their homes there. They call it hut or whatever they call it. Can we do that in the north? If we can't, why do we have to support these people and make them look as if they are first-class citizens? We are second-class or third-class citizens in a nation where we call our own. Can a Southerner go into any forest in the north and start rearing pigs, and you expect the guy to spend one night and not be butchered to death? Until we disaster understanding the game that is happening, start standing for what is true, what is fair, and what is just. Treat us the way you treat them in the north. We are equal stakeholders in this company, because it's a company anyways, called Nigeria. Equal stakeholders. I will expect the likes of Dave Umahi and other certain Nigerian governors to be clamoring for restructuring, to be clamoring for the dissolution of power, to be clamoring for the revisitation of the amalgamation of 1914, haven't expired 6 years or 7 years ago. I expect them to be saying, we need to bring something new to the table, knowing fully well that the nation of today isn't working. That is why insecurity is on the high rate. There's rampant killings, mayhem, kidnapping, stealing, banditry happening all over the south and the north. That shows something is not really working with the structure of the day of today Nigeria. Don't you guys think it will be in the best interest of the Nigerian leaders to start seeing something we need to do to salvage the already dilapidated, destroyed, consumed system before the house collapsed on the occupant? Don't they know if the Nigerian state today engulfed in any kind of further crisis, no nation in Africa can be able to occupy 1 million Nigeria? No nation in Africa. No. The population of Nigeria is like 5 or 6 or 7 nations in West Africa put together. That's the population of Nigeria. If anything happens today, the entire world will feel the impact of the Nigerian state. And many of you today who are billionaires and millionaires, you're going to feel the impact. So the injustice being meted on the people today can be corrected if you guys start speaking to power. You know, for you guys to save the little of what is left of today Nigeria. I'm speaking as a Nigerian with passion, who believes that we need to live better than what we are living today. With what is happening in Edo State, it's a clear indication that Nigeria has become a failed state. If the police come out, we have a jailbreak without no gunshot, without not even one man killed, without no gun battle between the police on duty and the hoodlums that came in, then Nigeria is failed. We therefore need a rethinking in our brains. The South governor thinks building house in Abuja is going to save them. When the crisis will start, they will be the first that will start running. You will run and leave your properties. It will be destroyed. You're not praying for that to happen. You're not praying for war to happen because war is not good. Or Kuemo say, war is not beautiful. The sight of war is ugly. My dad was telling me before he died, was telling me about the Civil War and the Second World War. It is ugly. Not a beautiful sight for anyone to see. But that's why they were living in Benin. So they hear boom, boom, boom. They were all panicking. It was an ugly sight, guys. I don't know the court that this man, all this politician belongs to. So wherever court that you are into, please do it for the betterment of the people. Save the people. Protect the people from everything that is against the people. Then only you have peace. You don't need a security man to move along with you. You don't need battalions of soldiers to protect and guard your house with AK-47s in their hands. You're doing that because you know you've offended the less privileged in the society. You do that because you know you are scared that one day they're going to come for you and take away your life because of what you've done to them. You can change these narratives by turning a new leaf and fighting for the betterment of the Talakawas in your society. Thank you, guys. I'm done for today. A little bit tired, and I woke up so late, so early. I mean, I've been up since 4 o'clock. So I think let me just end now. We'll see tomorrow again by the grace of God, and we'll continue in this dimension. God bless you guys. Let me just see if there is the Fulanis have come to another mass land in Otokbo and now created a Sultan of Otokbo King to be installed in February 6, 2021. As you can imagine that, if this is true, this is becoming so funny. You know, this is becoming so funny. How can somebody do this? How can somebody do this? You know, our people are just keeping quiet. They say nothing. They doing nothing. Good morning, Brother Nogi. I greet you, sir. Who saw that? Who saw this video? Who is that Messi? Which video did you saw? Which video did you see? Yeah, the sad we are so fond of doing that. We don't like to support our own. Yes, I believe you, sir. Today is a completely different thing. It's a completely different thing. Of who? Of who, ma? Of who, ma? Okay, guys. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow morning again. Okay, I think that's an old video. I think that's an old video. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow morning again as we continue this. Please subscribe to Nigeria Oke YouTube if you are first time. And also, don't forget to follow me on my Facebook page, Matter Rising with Humanist TV. Because many of you are still writing me that you are not seeing me online. I'm not using my private Facebook anymore. I'm not using my page, Matter Rising with Humanist TV, or the United States of Nigeria Facebook forum. Okay, guys, that's where you're going to get me. Apart from that, it will be difficult for you to get me on the show. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, guys. See you tomorrow. Have a blessed day. God bless you all.